so confused. You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop unfriend me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up on the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's dog.
Hey, Hog Twins here. Check out our friend Matthew Spirit at his podcast at the DUM Show and his website. Yeah, don'tunfriendme.com. Yeah.
Good morning, Don't Unfriend Me Nation. What are we?
PFC flags, folks. They make some wood, then they put some red on it, and some blue on it, some white on it, some stars on it, some stripes on it. And what do you have, Olivia?
A flag.
That's right, Olivia. Wooden flag. PFCflags.com. You can stop over there. You know what really frustrates me, Liv?
I was not ready for that. So.
You know what really frustrates me? By the way, nice assault weapon shirt. Where can you get that, I wonder?
The DUMShow.com.
DUMShow.com.
No B, just DUM.
This is what happens when you do this to your hat all day. You get stuff on the top of your bill, and that's going to annoy me.
All right, I'll text Hayden.
Text Hayden. Towel, water, now, stat. You know what frustrates me, Olivia?
Yes, what? Well, I can name several things, but what? What's frustrating you right now?
It frustrates me when, okay, so you create a site and you generate a whole bunch of nothing. I mean, a bunch of content, but ultimately nobody's watching, right? Remember when we were live and, 10 people would be on? I mean, we had 61 on early, which is nice. Missed you guys too. Hello, everybody. By the way, Matthew Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Hi. I'm going to go first tonight. Hello. Oh, you can't do it. Oh, you can do it. It worked.
Working.
It worked. I don't know if the other one's going to work. We're going to find out. Matthew Spear, Don't Unfriend Me Show. My beautiful wife, for all the guys that said I live with my mom, I don't.
I'm not his mom. No, sorry.
Well, on occasion, I'm her daddy. That's my wife, Olivia. Olivia Spear, please. Hey, it's working. Go figure. Nothing like a power outage to make everything click, right? As we know, Leroy and Amy.
Do I play Leroy and Amy?
No, Leroy and Amy's not here. Can you go back to our screen?
Oh.
Do your job.
There we go.
Jeez.
My brain is shot right now.
I heard Vanna White's available, so
she might be, because seriously,
she wants like more than $3 million a year. Whatever. She better be turning more than letters. Just saying. So anyway, and she's still hot, so I'm totally down. So here's the thing. Here's my frustration. You create something, nobody watches. There's 10 people on, right? You have an election night that just blows away all election nights, and you and Crowder on till like 2 a.m. And you get 3,000 people watching, and all of a sudden your site grows, and you get like 10K. And then people come on before that, and they're like, your site sucks. You don't even have any followers, dude. You're a loser. Why can't you get any followers? Of course, these people have no idea how long you've been around, right? And considering that we're in the top 0.25% of all content creators on Facebook as far as growth, I don't know what to say, but that's fine. The thing I always said was we're drinking milk, right? We're drinking milk. We're going to sleep at Holiday Inns until we get it. And, then we hit 50,000. And you guys suck. That's, our 5,000. That's a small school. Okay. It's a small town at 50,000. Then we get to 100,000. Oh, that's stupid. And it doesn't matter what you do. That it's never good enough. Now, it's not about the followers. It's about you don't have enough likes on your stuff. So you go and you look at insights and you show them 12 million interactions in 13 days with 12,000 additional followers. And they're still like, whatever. Not paper, regular towel.
Regular towel.
Honey,
That's
hurry.
why I said a towel.
Hurry. Thanks. So then you it doesn't matter. Then you cut a check that there's nothing you can do. And you know what? You don't mind. You know who built it. You know that you built your sea of corn in Iowa and then plowed under your corn to build a baseball field. And if you build it, they will come. I mean, that's the adage, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. So you do those things and you hold your head high. I remember I got my first paycheck for $92 from Facebook, and I was so excited. I'm just like, oh my gosh, if we can get to 300, this will represent like 0.002% of my monthly income. We're so excited. And Olivia, thanks, honey. See, honey, you got to be ready for the show. And Daddy wasn't ready. Thanks, honey. You're the best. You going to work out? Daddy already worked out. You going to lift? You going to run? Just run. 25. Have fun. Have a good time. All right. So wait till you guys see the transformation of Hayden. Holy crap. All right.
Is my camera blurry?
No, it's not. Okay, Amy. No, it's not blurry.
Well, we had to turn them off because of the storm.
We already just did it. We just did it.
Just looked
Okay.
blurry,
All right.
sorry.
So anyway, so you do all this work and then you go, all right, fine. And then it starts to take off. Like pretty much anything we post now is getting 30, 40,000 views and at least 1,000 comments. Videos are starting to do well. I mean, things are starting to take off, which is good. But you got these people who come in here who say just the most nonsensical crap. And all you want is just to have a conversation with people. You just want to have some dialogue. Nothing big. We don't have to solve the energy crisis. But, just have a conversation. So you invite them on the show. Larry Brown was supposed to be here tonight. Not Larry Robinson, the coach of the Los Angeles Kings. But Larry Brown. No. Not the detective of LAPD during the Rodney King riots. But Larry Brown. Just a guy who thinks that Jason Aldean's song is racist. And the video is racist. And he will not stop posting on the site. I mean, it is literally, he's up to the last time I checked, 52 some odd posts. He's very passionate about it. I mean, that's more than I posted a day, for God's sake. So I invited him on the show. He's, I'll be there. That was 5 hours ago. Then 4 hours hit. And then it's like, you didn't send me the link. I'm like, sure I did. You actually liked it. It's right there. Then it's like, well, what's the topic? 3 hours away, 2 hours away. And here he is. Thank God. Hold on, Larry. Time out. So let me get him in here first. So then thanks for calling. Thanks. I'm sure he had to feel everything out, right? He wanted to feel it out and see if he should call or not. So then you do that. And then you say, listen, man, you misunderstood who we are. You misjudged what we do here. Just call in so we can, kind of prove you wrong and have a conversation. And I have done this 1,000 times. And I can tell you, Olivia, how many times does someone actually take us up on it?
Maybe like 5% of the time.
No, never.
No,
not once. That was a horrible. You're not even listening. 0 times. So Larry's here. Larry Brown is in the room, but he's not. I need a picture. Larry, can you put maybe he just wants to do audio. Let me find out here. I'll put.
Hang on.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother. So.
Okay, cool.
All right. So, Larry, right now we have did you just want to do audio or are you going to do video too? Because it's okay. There he is.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, there's something in the way.
All right. So
hey, how's it going?
Folks, this is Larry Brown. Larry Brown has been engaged on the site. He's had a lot to say. He wants to keep it to a certain, topic, but unfortunately that's not the way things work. We're going to probably bounce around a little bit. And,
I got you.
And you didn't want me to bring up certain things, but we have to compare apples to apples. I'll promise to do that. This is my wife, Olivia. Larry,
Hello.
say hi.
Hi, Olivia.
My name's Matt, and I'm going to get your name up there. Larry Brown. You prefer? Is that okay if I put your name up?
Yeah, fine.
All right. Let me see if I can get this up here because I didn't.
So I'm seriously like the first one that's actually taking you up on your offer to call in.
Well, people have come in and then they get wrecked because they're rude or disrespectful. And I can play that game very well. If you haven't seen that on the site, I'm good at what I do. But when people come in and actually want to have a conversation, bro, I'm all about it. I'm all
Yeah,
about
yeah.
having dialogue because I think it doesn't happen enough, man. People are so afraid to talk. So how about this? How about I just shut up, let you go. You tell me what you're thinking. You tell me what frustrated you on the site or what you didn't like or whatever. And I'll just give you the time, and then I'll jump in when I feel it's necessary. Cool?
Well, I mean, I hadn't really checked out the site. I mean, I was just going off of, what we were talking about, on Facebook there, about the video and the song. And, first off, the song is, controversy aside, is a terrible song. It sounds more like an advertisement or, like a gimmick, radio spot than an actual song, in my opinion.
Okay. Do you like country? Do you like country music to begin with?
I'm a fan of all music, really not super into country, but I won't turn it off if it's a good song that comes on.
So give me an idea. What country music or country song do you find not to be the things you just said? Boring, mundane, drudgery.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of it.
So ultimately, it comes down to this: you don't like country. That's what it comes down to. You don't like country. That's fair. Can't even name a country song, so you don't like country, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, for Stapleton, I like Tyler Childress. I just went and saw Willie Nelson, and
Great.
Yeah. So
okay, so
I like country music. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you like country music.
I'll do some David Allan Coe, karaoke, but
okay. All right. Well, that takes balls. I can't do that. I can talk in front of, 100,000 people, but I can't do karaoke. So, all right. So you like country enough, but you like older country. Is that it? Just more of like...
I mean, Tyler Childress is kind of new. Stoney LaRue. I'm in Texas, so we get a lot of,
what part of Texas are you
up-and-comers
from?
and Dallas-Fort Worth.
I know it well. We're from Houston. All right.
Okay.
So we're not in. Yeah. All right. So, okay. You're not a big fan of the song, which is fine because that's opinion and there's nothing wrong with that. And I completely want people to have opinions. And in fact, most of the people say this song sucks. I just leave alone. Right. I don't care because I don't generally love the song either. There's nothing about the song that's memorable to me. It's 3-chord progression. It's pentatonic scale. It's got its highs and its lows, and its crescendo is non-existent. I don't care. It's not a moving song to me. However,
yeah, it's just a basic song.
It's a basic song.
Just basic.
It's 90% of what's out there. All right, so you and I agree the song, and it doesn't mean I don't tap my foot to it, but I'm not sitting here and going, we have to listen to this again, right? It's just, if it comes on, I listen to it. All right, so we agree. So what is it specifically about the post that bothered you where it was like, okay, now your comment essentially, I'm going to paraphrase because I don't want to misquote you, but it was essentially like, let's celebrate a rapist song in Baby It's Cold Outside. Now, honestly, that bothered me more than anything you had to say about Aldean because I think anyone who says that Baby It's Cold Outside is a rapist song is applying today's atrocities with yesteryear's innocence and flippance when it comes to flirting in a relationship or playing hard to get. It's complete. There wasn't roofies in 1940. I mean, date rape wasn't going on like that. Now, I'm not saying that date rape didn't take place, but what I'm saying is people are correlating, hey, what's in this drink versus understanding it's a mixed drink. My wife asked me the first thing we were together, and roofies didn't pop in our mind. She's like, what is this? I'm like, Malibu rum, a little bit of Midori, some pineapple juice, and cranberry juice. It's actually pretty good. But
it's my favorite drink now.
Her entire disposition in the song is flirting right back with him. Kind of like, oh, what will they say about us? And if I stay the night, what will my parents think? And I really should say no, no, no. And then the only reason they said that line is so he can say, well, baby, don't go, go, go. Come on. I mean, so, Larry, do
it's
you
written back in the 40s or something?
Right.
Like that. Things were different back then.
Do you think it's a rape song, really? That's what you believe?
Rape is kind of a strong word. I used a kind of a strong word, but I mean, it's definitely suggestive. Even in today's society, that would be suggestive. I mean, I know if I had a daughter and, she was saying, I really should go. My parents want me home. I really shouldn't stay. And he's trying to get you to stay. I'm kind of going to be upset with that dude.
All right. Well, I'm going to be upset with anybody who sleeps with my daughter, so that's neither here nor there. But I understand what you're saying. But let's read the lyrics, right? Because this is important. This is what we want to talk about, right? I mean, this, and then we're going to talk about the other one. So the lyrics of "Baby, It's Cold Outside." Sorry, I spelt that wrong. Okay, here we go. I really can't stay. Hey, Liv, you need to pull them up, Liv.
Okay.
You need to pull them up because you're going to be the female, so we don't get confused. Because I don't want to sound like an ostentatious guy who's talking to himself. All right, you ready?
Almost.
Okay, baby, it's called outside lyrics. Okay.
Getting there.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So you start off the first line. Go.
Wow, it doesn't tell what's what, but okay.
It doesn't need to. Just say I really can't stay. It literally is alternating sentences.
Okay.
This isn't going to be too hard. All right, Larry, stay with us. Don't sing it. I'm not going to sing that shit. Go ahead.
I really can't stay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go away.
Baby, it's cold outside. Mine's easy.
This evening has been.
This evening has been hoping that you would drop in.
Wait, this is the wrong one. We got to go to the original.
Oh, is this the? This is the frickin'.
Yes.
Dude, come on. Hold on.
Mariah Carey or whatever.
This is the Nina Mansell and frickin'. Oh, so stupid. Let's go to the Dean Martin one. Okay, here we go.
Let me see.
All right, baby, rip your clothes off, bitch, or I'm gonna hit you. Oh well, these are the lyrics. Okay.
Okay, hang on. Dean Martin. Okay.
All right, just kidding, folks.
Okay.
I really can't stay.
That's me.
All right, say it.
I really can't stay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go away.
But baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has been
Been hoping that you'd drop in.
so very nice.
I'll hold your hands. They're just like ice, which is so true because women always have cold hands and cold feet.
Yes.
Okay.
Cold
My mother
hearts.
will start to worry.
Beautiful. What's your hurry?
My father will be pacing the floor.
Listen to the fireplace roar.
So really, I'd better scurry.
Beautiful. Please don't hurry.
But maybe just a half a drink more.
Oh, wait a second now. That sounds voluntary. She's like, maybe a half a drink more. So she's already, come on.
After how
So
much
there's
pressure, though?
But that's what, dude, okay, you've had sex. Are you kidding me? Are you telling me that it literally went, hi, my name's Larry. And she's like, hi, my name's Laureen. Like, boom, and you guys started having sex? No, there's a courting process. And as a guy, you need to understand the word no. But you're not going to tell me that the first time you got laid that you weren't a little persistent in getting laid. Not rapey, but kind of like there was kissing, and then she's like, okay, we need to slow down. You're like, okay, let's slow down. And then an hour later, maybe you try it again. Come on, Larry. You're going to tell me that didn't take place?
Nah, it was the other way.
Okay, so she's the rapist. All right, that's fine. All right. So let's finish this.
Can't rape
and then
the
we'll-
women.
Yeah, listen, guys getting raped is fine. Women, no. All right, joke.
All right, so the neighbors might think,
Baby, it's bad out there.
say, what's in this drink? And that's the line that
Yeah.
everyone's like,
Yeah, what's in this drink? It's a mixed drink. Come on. It's like, oh, this drink's
Yeah,
a
but
little
he poured
strong.
strong, little heavy-handed there.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to listen. Okay, can we stop pretending that there isn't these
I think
these
people are looking way too much into it.
I-
and they're
I
looking for
understand.
stuff that's not there.
All right, so Larry, what are you saying? You're not. I don't believe you're saying this is a rape song, like the rape anthem of America. This is the Ted Bundy song. What is it about this song that you decided to have such choice and strong words on the post?
Somebody else mentioned the song, and I just kind of went along with it. But it's just that it is suggestive. I wouldn't want my daughter to be pressured like that. And I don't think a lot of other dads would want it either.
But do you consider that pressure? Let me ask you a question. What if he said, hey, do you mind having sex? And she says no. Okay, that's no. And the answer is no. I understand that. But in this, there is a flirtation going on where if you read the rest of the song, she kind of goes into it too. What makes you think a woman today can't say no? What makes you think that they're so fragile and weak that they can't simply say, no, dude, I don't want to have sex with you? But if there is a flirting kind of thing going on where they're exchanging nuance, I don't know, man. I just it's a fucking Christmas song, Larry. What are we really breaking it down to this?
No, it's. I mean the rapey part. It's like I said, rape is a strong word for the song. It's just suggestive, and like she said, what's in this drink? Why'd you pour it so strong? You trying to get me drunk?
That's not what she said. She literally is
But
probably
it was
like,
implied.
It's not implied. She's buzzed. I mean, okay, you've had drinks with girls before. When you pour them a drink, are you purposely trying to get them drunk so you can sleep with them?
No.
Then why is he? Then why can't we assume positive intent? That's my point.
Because she's already said no.
She hadn't said the word
So-
no.
How many times?
Hold on. The word no was never said. She said, I probably should say no. But she's not. She's saying yes, but she doesn't want to.
So
because
she's stringing him along. So you think
No.
the song is she's stringing him along?
I think, listen, if I'm listening to the song, I think it's cold outside and these two people have a chemistry and he's trying to get her to stay the night. And because of imagery, she doesn't want to, but he's trying to push through that shit to get her to stay and have sex. Do I feel that is uncomfortable and wrong? No, I don't. If she would have said no, stop, that's completely different. But it's just a song, dude. You can't get into the dichotomy of a song and draw lines of delineation to the worst possible or best possible outcome because it's just a song. We're going to talk about this with Aldean. All right. So let's do this. I'm going to shut up about Baby It's Cold Outside.
Hey, can I
and it was a
interject?
joke. Yes, interject,
Okay.
Liv.
Yeah,
Considering
go ahead.
that I am the only female in this conversation.
That you know of. Don't assume Larry's gender.
I apologize if I
joke.
assumed.
Come on, man.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so considering I am the only female in this conversation, I do not consider it a rape song. I consider it flirtatious. When Matt and I first met, no, we didn't sleep with each other right away.
Yeah, the duct tape and roofies didn't come for a week.
He definitely, he was interested and he chased me, but it was flirtatious and he did everything flirtatious. There was no pressure. There was no, you absolutely can't go. You have to stay. Blah, blah. No, it was flirtatious and he pursued me and courted me.
Oh, well, actually,
And-
I made her jealous, and that's when she finally
Stop,
gave
we're
in.
not going to tell that story yet.
Okay.
But you court in your own way, but okay.
All right.
So, but there was no pressure. I would not consider.
I even got her drunk because
And
she wanted
yes,
to,
you did.
and I didn't cross that line.
No.
I got her shit faced. She's like, I want to get drunk. I'm like, sweet, but I protected her the entire time,
Yeah,
and I made
so
sure nothing happened to her.
Considering when the song was written, and considering how it was back then, that women needed chaperones to go on dates with men. Women needed.
It was highly misogynistic.
So it's not a rape song. It's
All right.
It's the way it was. It was.
All right.
The time it
So
was
it's just a
written.
misogynistic song.
I don't know about that. I think the time was misogynistic, but I mean, you can go ahead and say that about everything. I mean, yesterday is going to be something that it's not today. I mean, that's what's great about a civilization that's growing and learning and evolves. But that's a whole nother conversation. It probably is more pertinent to have that conversation with the Aldean song because that's going to be one of my major premises. All right. Is there anything else we want to say about Baby It's Cold Outside that we have?
We can go back. Yeah, we can go in.
All right, so let's go to Jason Aldean. Now, what's your problem with Jason Aldean? The song and the words itself, not the video, just the words.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with those or Jason Aldean altogether?
Yeah. Let's see. I got no problem with the sucker punching old lady on the
Did you write
sidewalk.
notes? Did you write notes
Yes, I-
down?
Yes, I
Holy
did.
crap! I don't.
He's prepared. That's good.
You told
I
me to
don't do
prepare.
that.
You told me to prepare.
Absolutely.
I
Good
told you
job.
to stop trading barbs with that girl and focus on me. All right, go ahead. I don't take notes, but go ahead.
All right. So yeah, sucker punching old lady. Somebody on the sidewalk. The guy who gets sucker punched. Yeah, he has every right to defend himself, but nobody else in the small town has any right to step in unless they're trying to break it up.
enough.
Which the song doesn't really suggest, breaking it up.
That these are actual things that took place in the BLM riots, and that's what he's referring to.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
So
robberies,
the sucker-
crime, all that stuff happens all the time.
Yeah, sure it does, and funny enough, it's billed proportionate to African American people in inner cities, but we don't need to go into that because the whole premise that black people are the only ones who riot is where I have a bone of contention here. It's racist in itself, but here's what I don't
Well, it's
understand.
opportunistic too.
What's that?
It's opportunistic too. It's not necessarily people rioting. It's the opportunists who want to break into stores and steal TVs and shit, and that gets lumped in with rioting.
That is a riot.
Well, you have people there that are there to, riot and cause mayhem. And then you have the opportunists who just go to take advantage of the situation
Sure.
while everybody else is causing mayhem.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking to a guy who's defended BLM, who's been to 3 BLM events, and they were completely peaceful.
Right.
And there were 426 overall BLM events. 192 of them turned into riots, so a little less than 40%, totaling $2.5 billion in damage. And if every single Republican is going to have to wear January 6th around their neck for the rest of their lives, then BLM's going to have to own 190 some odd riots. And I think if we're going to have to do that, we're going to have to be fair and consistent, because I've been paying for January 6th when all I did was work that day and talk to 2 MARSOC snipers who were on the roof and 3 Capitol policemen and tell every one of my listeners the night before not to go. But that's neither here nor there. I understand where you're coming from, and I do believe that's a completely different conversation. But this, okay, I'm going to stop because we're getting off track. Jason Aldean.
Yeah.
You believe that the lyrics are what?
I think they are suggesting, small town vigilante justice.
Okay, why?
Forego due process, because it says it in the lyrics. What do you think it means when he says, try that in a small town? What do you
around
think
and find out. Fuck around and find out.
Right. And what's find out?
Self-defense.
Self-defense for burning the flag and stomping on the flag. That's not even illegal. I'm gonna tough guy. I'm gonna find out.
All right. Now hold on, Larry. It is illegal. You can't burn the flag without a permit.
Well, without a permit, if you get a permit
Larry, if you're going to interrupt me, then you and I are not going to have a good conversation. I am being very respectful with you, and you're getting amped up. Now take it down a notch. It is illegal. It is illegal without a permit. Period. In every city across the United States. So, no. If somebody burns a flag in my town, I'm probably going to say something. Now, but I'm also the guy that goes and replaces the elementary school's flag when it's tethered and worn and retire it just because I've got a 30-footer outside my house, and obviously I care about the flag. But no, I'm not going to go ahead and throw down a beat down or fire at somebody because they're burning the flag. No. But it's not just one event, and you're cherry picking the song. It's talking about obviously what happened with the riots. And if anyone comes to the towns that people specifically are in a small town or a more rural environment, there is going to be a very different reaction than people anticipate, or one that they would receive in larger cities. And I can attest to this because we just saw this in Montgomery, Alabama, where a bunch of white people started beating the shit out of a black guy, and they all got freaking wrecked. And good. They fucked around and found out. And that poor man was getting his ass beat by a bunch of white people. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, look at that, because it happens 1,000 times a day. You're right, with multiple races and colors and ethnicities. But the issue is that correlates to the song. It's basically saying, don't fuck around with my people. Don't fuck around with my town. Don't fuck around with the things where I live, because if you do, we're going to act in turn. I don't understand why that sounds like it's lynching or why it's reciprocity. To me, it sounds like self-defense. Educate me. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, cuss out a cop. I can cuss out a cop all I want. That's legal.
Yeah.
I mean, can't spit in his face. That's assault. But I can cuss him out all
anymore. Not if you live in California and New York. It's not, because they've downgraded it. It's no longer assault. See,
really?
So what? Yeah. But that's another conversation. So I agree with you. You can tell a cop to F off as many times as you want, but it's not just talking about that. It's talking about the things that were done while a riot was going on. They threw bottles of ice at officers. Hold on. They fired off fireworks that blinded cops, made cops deaf, and lost digits when they exploded. They threw bricks at cops. They threw piles of manure inside bags at cops. This stuff is unacceptable, and it happened all the time. Now, I also remember when BLM lined up and put a ring around certain police officers, specifically in Dallas. I also remember seeing the 5 bodies of the officers in Dallas downtown as we watched it on Fox, and we were in Houston, which was also a travesty. I understand what you're saying. The whole point is, what is your problem with people saying, hey, man, you screw around, this is what's going to happen? But we can hear this in other music, and it's okay. It's in rap music, you know that. We've heard that. We're not going to go ahead and go into it, but you can listen to plenty of music by 2 Live Crew, by NWA, by the DOC, Digital Underground, Third Base. We can go on all sorts. Even Vanilla Ice, for God's sakes, talked about if you come into Miami, what's going to happen to you. None of that was a big deal. It's a song.
Yeah, I agree. It's a song, but it encourages that small town, like, you know, somebody, you know, here's the song, you know, in their small town, and, you know, somebody goes up and cusses out a cop, you know, he thinks it's his small town he has to defend. And, you know, you get, you know, what happened to Ahmaud Arbery?
So
just jogging down the street because the guy's taking their small town justice, thinking he's breaking into houses, forego the whole due process and call the law. They just take the, you know, small town justice into their own hands.
Mistakes happen.
And that's what this encourages.
I don't think it encourages that. I think what it's saying is that if you bring these specific, hold on, Larry, gosh darn it, man. I'm addressing your point. I know, but I'm addressing your point. I'm telling you, I agree. Things happen all the time. But I seriously doubt Trayvon Martin happened because somebody listened to a song that made them feel that they had to go out and get uppity with somebody. Just like I can't sit here and say that people listen to Fuck the Police and decide to go ahead and burn down, 26 cities in the United States. I'm not going to go ahead and attest that to music. This is very reminiscent of when we were kids and our parents said that certain music like Rodney James Dio or Ozzy Osbourne, and we played D&D, we're going to make us Satan worshipers. I mean, we're sounding kind of like get off my lawn type of adults here. I think music has created movements in people's souls. I think they inspire people to do things, but do I really think that somebody's going to be like, Jason Aldean says I got to go out there and, do this, or that? I don't know if I'm going to buy that, Larry. I just don't know.
Well, he's not saying that you have to do it. He's saying that it's okay to do it. It's not, it is your small town duty. Do it.
It is okay to. It is your small town duty to defend your home and defend your town. Abso-freaking-lutely. It's right, it's absolutely your right to protect your property.
But is your property, that somebody's stomping on the flag? Is your property cussing out a cop?
But once again, you're taking subtle things and nuance of small portions of what happened when we're talking about a collective whole. The overall overarching theme is riots and criminals doing illegal things. That's the overarching conversation. And yes, you're not mentioning the Molotov cocktails. You're not mentioning burning down federal buildings. You're not talking about insurrection that took place because it was federal property, and this is a political movement. So therefore, those people should also be in prison as well. Larry, you're cherry picking the details here. If we're going to talk about this in a real way, you're reading portions of the song, and it's like you're telling me because he said, what's in this drink, that this guy literally is setting up date rape, but you're forgetting all the other words in the song and you're only focusing on one line. I think it's disingenuous, honestly.
Can I interject?
Yeah, please interject, Olivia. Go ahead.
So the fact that people think that you're going to listen to a song and go do it is really insulting to everyone. I'm from a small town of 5,000 people in Northwest Montana. I did not listen to the song and call my family that still lives up there and go, you need to look for trouble. You need to vigilante justice. Go take it on. Go do it yourself. No. It's just about as insulting as people saying that voter ID should not be something because black people can't get IDs. They're too dumb to get IDs. And that's the whole premise of that.
That's what they're saying.
So that's what they're saying. They may not say it, but that's what they're saying. It's insulting. When was the last time you listened to a song and went out and did what it said?
Right.
Do you
like learning to fly by Pink Floyd? Nobody jumped off a cliff.
Did you listen to NWA Fuck the Police? Have you gone out and fucked a police officer lately?
I have, but that was a completely long time ago.
Everything. I mean, who plays Grand Theft Auto Who plays Grand Theft Auto and then goes out and steals a car and does all that? If we can't have entertainment, what's the point? If we're going to take everything so seriously.
Okay, you've asked Larry 20 questions. Let him answer. I know. Okay. If I'm going to hold him down sometimes, I got to do the same to you. All right, Larry, go ahead. Answer the question.
I mean, I'm not saying he's telling people to go out and do it. I'm saying he's saying it's all right to do that.
Okay. I want to be clear and understand. I don't believe he's saying vigilantism is going out and forming a posse or forming a lynch party to go ahead and enact justice that is under the guise of law and order. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is, if you come in here and force our hand, we will defend ourselves. Period. There is nothing else. There's nothing that I'm going to come to the urban city. I'm going to come and find you. I'm going to come and hunt you down. I'm going to drag you out of your bed. There's none of that. It's come to our town, and you'll find out by the time you get to the end of the street that shit doesn't fly here. Brother, I don't understand how that is turned into, unless you interject the video and you interject nuance, that you come to that conclusion. And I think the video is what you have a problem with more than the song, because you haven't convinced, at least yourself, it sounds like, that the song is truly the problem, that it's the video in conjunction with the song that's the issue. Is that correct or no?
I mean, let's say you know nothing about the riots at all. You've been living in a cave for the last 5 years, and you come out and you hear this song, and it's telling you to do this, or this is what people do in a small town, and you know nothing about the riot.
Right. Okay, so we're going to do a hypothetical now. So you're going to give me the worst case scenario possible that is completely unrealistic and unfathomable, and expect me to go ahead and play along? No, Larry, I won't. Your situation is completely ridiculous and will not take place. So I'm not even going to go ahead and dignify that with a remark.
All right. That's fine.
Okay. Thanks. I think that's fair. It's like telling me, well, Matt, do you believe in abortion? What about the one-armed girl who's Jewish, who has no money, who is going to die? She's got cancer, and she can't possibly have and she's handicapped, and she also has a slight gimp to the left. Well, you know what? I'm very sorry for that one person out of 326 million in the United States, but I'm willing to go ahead and forego murdering 67 million babies because of it. So I don't know, Larry. I can't go ahead and make that. But what I can say is I think we need to move to the video, because I'm not hearing the conviction in your voice when it comes to the words. Do you not like Aldean? Do you think he's done something that makes him a racist? Is there something he's done that you don't like about him that lends credence to your comments?
No, I mean, he's on my Spotify. I got a couple songs that pop up from him. But
maybe you're a Klan member. Just joking.
What's that?
I said maybe you're a Klan member. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, take your time.
No.
Take your time.
I got to plug in my phone. It's about to die.
Okay, take your time. I'm here.
Give me just a sec.
No problem, buddy.
Should have been a little more prepared, I guess.
Don't worry, but dude, nobody's pushing you. Take your time. Listen, no big deal. Everybody's very patient on this show.
Good.
So those damn iPod cables, trying to find those things, those phone cables. So you never find one when you need one.
This one's I have the Android, but it's got the C to C, and so I can't just plug it into my laptop.
All right, take your time, no rush.
Yeah, I got to find an outlet that'll work.
So can you still hear me while I say a couple things?
Yeah.
Real quick? Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to just say one more thing, and then you can have last word on this portion. I find it a little interesting, Larry, that a song that nobody heard in May and nobody listened to in June and definitely went ballistic in July. So did my site. I mean, I had 12 million people interact with a meme that was about 10, 12 underneath the one you responded to. And it's been hectic, but really truly most people aren't going to listen to this song, and it's sitting at like 36 million downloads, which is pretty good, and streams. But I'm confused at why you're so concerned about a song that isn't real, and you don't seem to be concerned with what the song is about, which was most assuredly real and happened 194 times and $2.5 billion in damage, and how that doesn't suggest that rioting, looting, criminal actions, assault with a deadly weapon, assault with intent for bodily harm doesn't bother you. Because I think what we're doing is we're starting from a middle point of like, okay, the riots happened, but we're skipping all the stuff about the riots and we're going right into Aldean's song, but we're not actually talking about what Aldean's talking about. And the pearl clutching that's going on with this just blows me away, because you have Jason Aldean, who is a fiction writer. He sings songs for a living, but you actually have these events that really did take place, and you don't see it on the news. You never saw it on the news. CNN didn't talk about it. Nobody talks about it. People don't even know that January 6th took place for 4 years, hundreds of times, and we're upset about a song that sings about it, but we're not upset about the events themselves. Help me gain some insight onto why you're on the side of the other portion and not where I'm at with the riots themselves piss me off versus a song singing about them.
Well, what pissed you off about the riots? I mean, that's going to get off into a whole new,
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, I'll tell you quickly. I had 3 friends lose their businesses completely, top to bottom. That's it. That pisses me off. I think anyone who burns down their neighborhood and throws Molotov cocktails and fireworks and bottles of ice, frozen ice, water, and bags of shit at police officers, you know what? I don't feel too bad if they get some tear gas and the old mullet. I don't feel too bad if they get tossed to the ground real hard. I think those people need to learn a valuable lesson that we are a law and order country, and you don't have to like the law, but you damn well better respect it. And when you break it, you better put your hands up, get on your knees, and prepare to be arrested when you break the law, or you suffer the consequences that sometimes can be extremely violent. And I don't necessarily agree that that's the answer, but unless you've actually run those streets and ran those beats and done ride-alongs or trained those officers, I think you would be very much in a different stable than you are right now if you actually did the job. That's my thought.
Okay. And why do you think they did all that?
I think they did that because we had George Floyd, which was probably what set this all off, even though all the police officers that were involved at the time who actually had physical contact were in jail at the time of these riots, were absolutely arraigned and arrested with charges suspended without pay. And then it wound up being that 6 others are also, including one yesterday, who's facing, I think, 56 months in prison. And all he did was keep people away from the event and showed no remorse. And so I don't know, man. They rioted after justice was being served. Everything that they said, no justice, no peace. Well, justice was served, and we certainly didn't see peace for an entire summer. So that's what set it off.
I mean, what about justice for all the other ones?
What other ones?
Sandra Bland.
Yeah.
How about
a no-knock warrant, right?
Yeah.
Drugs
she
in the
was
home.
Sleep in her bed.
Firearms in the home.
Sleep in her bed.
Yep. A lot of mistakes can happen, especially with no-knock warrants. I'm not condoning that. But what I'm trying to say is that the narrative that unarmed black people are being shot is a lie. It's a lie. On average, 13 to 17 happen annually. You can look it up, that are actually unarmed shootings, and most of those are actually white. But that's African Americans. African Americans are shot at a much lower clip than whites. And the interesting thing is that 51% of the crime in the United States for 13.5% of the population is owned by African Americans, which is horribly disproportionate for violent crime. So what you're saying is that you have more opportunity to shoot an unarmed black person, yet they are lower, and white people are shot at a higher clip. There is no hunting of black youth in the United States of America. There are bad cops. There are people who are racist. There's no doubt. Of course that's true. But this whole narrative that...
A lot of those bad cops got away with being bad cops, right?
Sure they did. Sure they did. Yeah. And you're and a lot of those criminals got away with a lot of crime too. So you're right. There's injustice in the world. That's why we have to try to do better.
There was protests. There was protests about that too, right? A lot of those cops, there was protests about the police officers, getting off with murder, right?
Yeah, so,
and those were peaceful protests.
No,
for the most part.
Hold on a second now. Please explain to me who was killed during BLM riots from the police force. I don't understand.
I'm not talking about BLM and
what are you talking about?
Police. I'm talking about the history of the police.
I just gave you the stats. You're talking about 13 to 17 on average unarmed black shootings in the United States versus 36,000. Right. Hold on. Versus 36,000. Versus 36,000 inner city black on black youth deaths a year annually in the top 52 cities and the most violent in the United States. 37 are owned by liberal cities. That happens through 30,000 times more than an unarmed black shooting. But let's talk about this. Am I going to say that there's not racial profiling? Of course not. Am I going to say that certain African Americans aren't treated unfairly? Of course not. I'm not saying that. But that's not a systemic problem. That's an individual problem, and we need to clean up these police departments. Sure, we need to clean up these neighborhoods too. That's an entirely different conversation. What you're saying is that there is systemic racism in the police force that are hunting black people, and that is a complete fabrication.
No, that is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the police are not punished when they do murder an unarmed black person.
No, that's
in
not
most
true.
cases.
No, it's not in most cases. No, it's not. Please give me examples. Give me names and examples, because I can tell you the 13 that have not happened this year. Well, then don't make a statement if you can't back it up, because I'll go ahead and talk to you about the actual 9 that have happened this year. And every single one of those that were actually found to be guilty of the police and they did something wrong with body cam footage or witness testimony, all of those were justifiable shootings, even unarmed. You have to understand is that sometimes people are shot because there's a weapon in the car. They're still considered armed in reality, but not armed in the sense that they were shot with a weapon. There are people who reach for knives. There are people there who are 6'6" who beat the shit out of female cops. And finally, after tasing and after stunning, and because they are so strung out on drugs that they can't even define anymore because of the mixtures that are out there, there's no other choice but for that officer to defend themselves. The whole Michael Brown thing was a complete lie. Hands up, don't shoot. Well, we all found out that that was complete bullshit. The forensic evidence said that, and also eyewitness testimony that came out, people fabricated the story. I understand what you're saying, Larry, but what I don't understand is why you think this is an epidemic in the United States that deserves everyone to be up in arms, that somehow there's systemic racism from the police department in today's society, which there's not.
That's not debatable. There is definitely systemic racism in the police department.
Sure. Okay.
Absolutely.
Fine. Systemic meaning that there are certain laws or there are certain guidelines that are systemic in all police departments. Please give me the law that you consider to be racist or unjust that singles out minorities versus white people. I'll wait.
Marijuana. I mean,
disproportionately more people smoke marijuana than just about anywhere. Honestly, it's a ticket in most places, a $25 fine. Jail time is no longer, unless it's on distribution quality or you have it bagged out. What are you talking about? Marijuana, if you have a dime bag of oregano, it doesn't matter where you are, you're probably going to get a ticket or a cop that says, listen, kid, don't do this shit again, and then stomp on it and walk off. I don't think marijuana is the issue.
But why do you think they keep it illegal?
Well, they keep it illegal because the government wants to go ahead and do that because it's a huge moneymaker. The DARE program makes up in its budget about 62% of its overall revenue is done because of marijuana solicitation in the United States. It really
depends on the state, though.
But it does depend on the state. Yeah, it's
legal in some states.
It's going to be legal everywhere. It's just a matter of time. But that doesn't matter. You're fine, but it doesn't matter, man. I don't know what we're talking about here. You're telling me there's systemic racism in the police force, and I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see it. Tell me what laws are racist. Did we lose him?
I don't know.
All right, Larry, call back. So okay. Larry's going to call back, hopefully. Here he comes. All right. Hey, buddy, you on now? Hey, Larry. Larry, try again, buddy. Give me a call right back. Don't leave. So this is the problem with most debates, is that they get sidetracked. Larry, can you hear me? Larry, turn off your phone and restart it and come on back. And then what we'll do is we're going to try to retract this, because this is the problem. Is son of a motherless. Larry, restart your phone. I hope we get him back. What are your thoughts, Livy?
Anyone who gets offended by a song just doesn't know how to just enjoy entertainment. That's what it is. Songs, movies, TV shows.
Yeah.
They're entertainment. And if we're going to go ahead and believe everything a song says and say, you know, I'm going to go do what it says. So what happens when Santa Claus is coming to town?
Right.
Are we going to go out and look for Santa Claus and wait for him and be really upset when he doesn't show? I mean, are we going to really rock around a Christmas tree? I mean, come on, it's entertainment.
Well,
And
you have Christmas trees during the winter, and I definitely rock around your Christmas trees during the winter.
Yeah.
Listen,
But did you get the idea from the song?
I may have.
I mean, it's entertainment. People are too uptight these days. They need to stop getting offended by everything. If you get offended by everything you see, you watch, you hear, then you need to freaking crawl into a hole and stay there. You know, or just go past it.
I think it's very disingenuous to say that laws on the books in regards to marijuana are inherently racist, when I think that's a little bit racist in itself if I'm pointing it out, to say that, oh, well, black people are the only ones who smoke marijuana. That's not true. That's ridiculous to say. So I think when we talk about systemic racism, what people need to understand is it's racist inherent in the system based upon laws and practices. When we talk about racist behavior on an individual basis, yes, absolutely. Just FYI, Larry came from Facebook, and Larry was very interested in talking about his opinion on the Jason Aldean song, and I invited him on the show, and he's a nice guy. I think he's fine. I have no problem with him in any way, shape, or form. And I give him mad props for calling in. Unfortunately, it sucks that he got disconnected. I hope he's restarting his phone and we can finish the dialogue, because he's a good guy and I would wish him back. But I don't think we proved tonight that Jason Aldean's song is racist or about vigilantism. I think vigilantism would never have been brought up if it wasn't for 1946, I believe, in front of the courthouse that actually had that lynching that took place, and several lynchings that took place. But here's the thing. I can name 40 courthouses in the United States, and I promise you that Larry will not be able to tell me anything about them. In fact, I do have a few of them that I researched. And, I could say, what do they all have in common? He's not going to be able to tell me. There's no way. Nobody knew about this courthouse. Hannah Montana didn't know about this courthouse. Disney didn't know about this. Hallmark didn't know about this. The Better Business Bureau didn't know about this. And Jason Aldean's film crew didn't know about this either. To say that they did is just ridiculous. So I don't find anything about the Jason Aldean song to be racist. I think people who say that the only people Jason Aldean was talking about is black people is racist, because they're saying that only black people riot. And I think that's ridiculous to say. And if you look at the video, you'll notice that there are more white people in that video than black people. And that's really the people who get the most upset about this fucking song. Black people aren't even pissed. Nobody cares. Listen, 500,000 comments, and I have looked over most of them. And a lot of African-American people have come in, and most of them have just been like, dude, this song's shit, or I don't care about this, or this is stupid. We've got to realize that this constant conversation about racism in America, someone asked me today, they said, and Liv, you weren't here for this, but I wanted to talk to you about it. They said, please tell me how Obama is responsible for any division in America. And my reply was, that's easy. Obama perpetrated a lie that the biggest single threat to minorities in America today is prejudice and racism, period. He perpetrated that lie and repeated it incessantly during his presidency that minorities were facing the worst type of anything that had to do with prejudice and racism, when honestly that wasn't true. What the African American communities are suffering are a lack of patriarch in the family, single family homes, moms raising children by themselves, no opportunities to do anything other than work in fast food restaurants, or facing a life of crime because the payout of selling drugs is 3,000 to 1 versus working at McDonald's. The lack of God in the families, and the modern day eugenics, that it's better to have an abortion, and if you don't have an abortion, just have the kid and the government will pay you for it. These are the problems in the inner city, not racism, not prejudice, because that's just ridiculous. A bunch of white people don't live in these neighborhoods. They don't specifically, which is one of the problems why there are no jobs there and small businesses for these kids to work at and have a future. So they turn to the streets. So we can sit here and say, and Obama can say it all day long, but honestly, it's just a bunch of bullshit. All right, Liv, I want to show you 2 videos before we head out. I know you've had a long day. You've been working since 6 a.m., and I don't want you to have to do that. There's 2 videos that are tied to this Jason Aldean song that I wanted to show you. And the first one is Montgomery, Alabama. And somebody reached out to me, and I don't remember who, and they're like, Montgomery, Alabama, how do you feel about that small town? Well, first of all, Montgomery, Alabama is certainly not a small town, number one. Number two, what I saw made my stomach absolutely sick. This is a security guy, and I guess there was a pontoon or skiff or whatever that was down the way, and this group of white kids came in and Karen, can I say something real quick? And I don't want you to get mad. Eschenbach, you've been on several times. Can you do me a favor? Can we not call another human being a cockroach? That's what the Nazis did in the Third Reich, and we get labeled that way too much. But when we start calling people vermin and rats and maggots like the left call us, it's a little Reichy. And I think we can have a better word for Obama. We can call him an asshole. We can call him a jerk. We can call him whatever we want. But a cockroach, it's just a personal preference. You can do what you want. I would recommend we don't. That's just my opinion. Okay? All right. But this video shows this guy and this white guy can just start beating the hell out of him. And what's funny is this guy's like 56 and he knocks the shit out of a couple of these, but then they jump him. And then the black population in the area comes in and they just lay a beat down on these white kids. And this is exactly what Jason Aldean is saying. He literally is saying, fuck around and find out. Pardon my French. You do this in any town, this is what's going to happen to you. And I'm all for it. And honestly, I don't have any problem with this whatsoever. Those kids deserve their asses handed to them for jumping. Now, if it was a one-on-one fight, first of all, this one kid in the pink shirt, he's outweighed by 100 pounds. This African-American guard, honestly, the fact that this kid has the balls to even start something shocks the hell out of him. He must have been drunk off of his ass. But he absolutely gets laid out. Let's watch this. Now, anybody who doesn't like violence, this is going to be a little bit violent. Here it is. And that's where it went wrong. Three guys.
People sitting there cheering for this.
Well, that's both communities. I mean, the lady who's filming is African American, and 100%. Once those 3 guys jumped in, it's a free for all. You don't jump in on a one-on-one, even though that security guard had the upper edge. It's not too small to see. Hold on. I'm trying, guys. It's a small video. There's not much I can do. Okay, there. That's better. Okay. So these 3 guys come in here and jump in, and that's not acceptable. You would hope that they're maybe trying to pull them off, but that's not what's happening. They push, and they're hitting. Now, what I will give is the guy who first started the fight in this white hat here, he tries to pull the guys that jumped in off. I got to give that respect. This guy's like, he's obviously squared off before, and he tries to pull him off, and those guys run. But by that time, it's too late. Now you have multiple security guards showing up, and people are pissed. You have guys swimming to fight these white kids that started this crap. That's, I think, a 16-year-old kid in the water who jumped in to get involved. Now, you know, come on, man. I mean, you jump in on a fight. What the hell? The woman's like, that boy's swimming his ass off. And that kid's going to have wind when he gets up. I mean, he just swam, 150 feet, and he's going to have wind when he gets out, because watch what he does. He gets right to work. So the whole thing started because they wouldn't move their little boat, and he asked them to, and then this shit started.
So the security guard asked the kids to move their boat.
Yeah, and the parents.
So they jumped him?
Yeah, they jumped him. That's what my understanding is. I haven't seen the whole thing, and things can happen, but either way. Janet says, I don't understand why you have to point out race. What does it effing matter? Well, the reason why is because I'm going to show you why it matters. Just hang tight, Janet. I'm not pointing out race. I am addressing it.
They scared. Look at them. They scared. Woo! Beat their ass. Woo! Yeah. Woo!
I don't get through here.
What the hell? That was the kid. That was the kid. Yeah, these white folks don't need black men.
Well, some of those people are actually security guards. So whether you think that or not, there was a security boat over behind where a lot of people came off. That's my understanding.
Security. We trying to get on the super cycle, the Marriott trying to come through, and the man was telling them to move their boat because the Marriott couldn't dock so the folks could get off, and everybody on the super cycle, we just wait. Why these folks the swung on and the jumped on their black man? Baby, the crew member that jumped off the Marriott, baby. They whooping ass, baby. Now come up out that boat, baby. They ready to move some. They ready to move some. Yeah, he jumped in the water.
I don't get through here.
What the hell? Yeah, these white folks jumped on it.
All right, so I'm gonna say something about this, and the reason why, and I don't think Janet was saying why am I mentioning race, but the people in the video, is this is exactly what is going to fire off a civil war in this country if this shit continues. Listen, for all people who are white who say, oh, whatever, it happens once in a while, dude. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't happen nearly with the frequency that it used to, and that's because it's considered a hate crime, and people are not going to act on that and be ridiculously stupid. This was stupid, and all parties involved. But I gotta say that they jumped in, and those white kids, they got their asses handed to them, and they jumped in there. They had every right to earn what they got, and they got it. The stuff afterwards where it turns into multiple people getting involved and then they start jumping on one person, that shit's not supposed to happen. It happens all the time. And I can show you 10,000 videos on Twitter right now that are absolutely the opposite, where a white person is getting their ass kicked by African Americans. None of it's right. None of it's okay. It shouldn't happen, but it does. And we have to realize that this problem is getting worse. And the reason why it's getting worse is because you have two parties that are saying that African Americans are responsible for all your problems. And then African Americans in the Democratic Party saying white people are your problems. This bullshit needs to stop. This is the reason I'm mentioning race, because this video right here. I want you guys to watch this, Olivia, and then I want commentary. Here it is.
I don't know what it is, but ever since that Montgomery fight, bro, like, I just feel some type of way, you feel me? It's like, bro, a lot of us been waiting on shit like that to happen, you feel me? I feel like that shit activated something in me, man. And it feel like if all of us get together right now, bro, we can dominate For sure. I'm talking about that's what it feel like right now. That's the feeling it's giving right now. A feeling that we been supposed to have. See how that shit got y'all feeling though, bro? I swear to God, bro. I know that shit got the whole world feeling good, bro. The whole black community feeling good as hell, bro. On my soul, bro. The taste, that's just a little taste. Think about if we had it. Man, think about if we grabbed it all, bro. Think about if we you feel me? You hear me? That shit'll feel so good. That's if we do get together, maybe, bro, we can feel good for the rest of our lives, G. We can feel good for the rest of our lives, G. Motherfuckers done got up, G. Motherfucker done stood up and did some shit that we all supposed to be doing every fucking day. I'm talking about fighting back. You hear me? We was always taught if a motherfucker hit you, hit him back. Bro, a motherfucker been hitting us for a long time. Bullshit you or not, bro. That lit back felt good as hell. That's what mama said do. You remember? Mama said if motherfucker hit you, you hit their ass back. No cap, G. Shout out to everybody who was out there, motherfucker, who helped and everything, bro. Like, real shit, G. Y'all, we need to know exactly who y'all is, G. That's some real G shit. That's some real shit right there, bro. Bro, I ain't even gonna count with y'all, man. That shit made my soul feel good, bro. Like, my soul feel different, right? Like, my soul feel good, bro. I feel like I got superpowers around this motherfucker right now. Feel good as hell, bro. Real shit, bro. Now I'm in this motherfucking serious. I'm in my motherfucking fifi. I'm in my fifis right now. You heard me about our black people. You feel me? I love y'all, nigga. You hear me? Man, I love y'all. Boy. Hey, shit. Hey, man, I love y'all, man. Y'all stay up, G. Y'all stay up, boy.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Yeah, Susie, what we also can't do is walk in the middle of a show and go ahead and assume that we're playing stereotypes. I don't know, Suze. I don't think this show's for you. I just showed you two very, very opposite sides of a coin. You've got people who think it's okay to jump a black guy in any way, shape, or form, and it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And then on the other side of the coin, you have people who are demonstrating supremacy and calling out, violently attacking a race. This is exactly what they're accusing Jason Aldean of. And this TikTok video is going viral. And there are hundreds like it. Hundreds calling for violence. In fact, they're now calling for violence on certain days in August in order to create reciprocity for what happened in Alabama. And to me, I think all of it is abhorrent. And I think all of it needs to stop. And I'm sick and tired of it. Because if you think that Jason Aldean's video is racist, and you think that that tirade of bullshit that we just heard isn't racist, then you have absolutely not one brain cell that's functioning and firing. Synapses is not taking place in your brain. Susie, I don't know if I misunderstood. I don't think I did. But this happens all the time. Olivia, your thoughts?
God, it was really hard to understand. Was he like freaking high on something?
I have no idea.
My God. What was in his hair?
Honey, let's not do this. Can you not make fun of somebody's looks and just talk about the content?
Fun of his looks. He's just, I don't know. I couldn't get past. I think it's atrocious what he's saying. It's wrong. I mean, anyone who calls for violence is wrong, but yet again, the Democrats do it all the time. So,
I wonder if. See, here's the thing: is you don't see that stuff on YouTube. This isn't saying that it needs to happen, but you don't hear white people talking like that because YouTube gets those people out, and so do I. When I have people who come on here and start espousing racist crap I get them off. I kick them off immediately. I get them out as fast as humanly possible.
But TikTok, on the other hand, they They live it up.
And
I mean,
this-
you've got your TikTok challenges that actually tell you to go out and damage property and hurt people and do stuff that you know, Tide Pods and shit that you could die on. TikTok's horrible.
I don't understand why, if anyone put that on YouTube of any race, color, and creed, they would immediately be banned. If they put it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, but in TikTok and others, it's on there all the time, and it's literally calling for unrest in the United States. And it doesn't shock me that this is a Chinese-based company. I don't understand why we have come to this in the United States today, why it literally is white versus black. We already fought this fight, and we have fought this fight multiple times in this country. We fought it through slavery. We fought it through abolition. We fought it through Jim Crow. We fought it through civil rights, and we're now fighting this again. And I'm wondering, how are we blaming a town that nobody has ever been to versus a city that nobody's ever been to, and somehow it's the responsibility of your fellow brother and sister from a different color? And why we're not focusing on blaming political parties or blaming the government or the news media that's creating this division. I don't have any ill intent towards anyone based upon their color. I don't. I don't have ill intent based on somebody because of their sexual disposition or the color of their skin or where they pee or where they don't or where they put their penis or where they don't. I have problems with people who try to force their beliefs on me or my family or my friends, and it has nothing to do with me. I don't know these people. This is a sheer problem with people who believe that black people are the problem in the United States and every reason why they have issues, and why black people believe that white people are the issue in their lives. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know where this country's going, but it's not going anyplace good. Videos like that, they're terrifying because it's calling for violence. It's calling for people to take reciprocity out on something that they had no involvement in. I don't understand it.
Here's the thing. If you get offended by Jason Aldean's video and saying that he's calling for vigilante justice, and you don't get offended by that TikTok video, you are the problem in this country.
Yeah, that's it.
Because that video is calling out for vigilante justice. Jason Aldean's is not. He's just saying, if you come into our town and try to hurt us, we will defend ourselves.
That's it.
That's all he's saying, is we will defend ourselves. Just like you come to my town and you try something at my home or in my kid's school, I will defend my children and myself.
That's it. You break into my home, the last thing I'm worried about is your color. The only thing I'm worried about is why you're breaking in my house, and I don't care what color you are. I don't, listen, we had people that tried to screw with my flag in Houston. I had a Trump flag out in front of my house, and they started screwing around with my flagpole. They were a bunch of white kids. Who cares? Stay off my property. Stay away from my family. I don't care what color you are. And Susie, I'm not trying to come down on you. I want it to be really clear that I'm no longer apologizing for my opinion on this show. I just don't care. I've had people who have left the show and they're like, I'm not coming back. Why? Well, you're being mean. I don't care anymore. I just don't care. I'm going to be as honest as I can. I'm going to give you my opinion. And this whole thing is too much. We need to dial it back. Not all of Houston's liberal.
Where we lived, it totally was.
Most Texas isn't liberal, surprisingly enough. Most Texas is not. It's just San Antonio, El Paso, Dallas, Houston,
Austin.
Austin. That's it. It's the city. It's just like everywhere.
And it's the inner cities. All the suburbs around Houston and the big cities, most of them are conservative.
Most are conservative. Most everywhere is that way. I mean, even California is the same way. San Francisco, San Diego, Los Angeles, San Jose. These are the cities that make up predominantly a lot of California. Same thing with New York. A lot of places that are smaller town or more rural are conservative. Okay, so Susie, that's our confusion. Sorry, Suze. I just, sometimes you say things and I don't know who you're talking to, and you got to be real specific, kiddo, because I don't know what you're talking. She says, oh, you were thinking I was saying you were stereotyping? Yes. Yeah. I was speaking in general terms. Okay, well, I'll be honest with you. It's hard to tell sometimes. It comes down to this. People need to scale this back. And I understand that a lot of people may say, oh, well, you supported the Jason Aldean song. That's not what happened. This is what the post was. And honestly, it had nothing to do with the quality of the song or what the song was about. The original post, if we all remember, that fired this whole thing off was this. I'm looking. It was kind of a few weeks ago. So I got to find it. Hold on. Where did it go? Here it is. All it was this. It was Jason Aldean with a top 10 released. How tried to spell. And all I said was, at CMT, don't worry, we got Jason's back now. That's all it said. There was nothing about try that in a small town, F around and find out. And then people went ballistic. People flipped out and went after this post. Most people supported it, but a lot of people, racist, you're a Nazi, you're a xenophobe, you're absolutely insane, you hate what, you're a white nationalist. This lady came on, remember her? And flipped out. The only thing that this post said, it's right here. Hold on. It said, yeah, it said at CMT. I don't remember. You guys remember what it said.
Yeah, I remember.
It's just ridiculous. And this turned into millions of people getting involved. So then I'm like, all right, you want to go ahead and talk about this? Let's do it right. Let's be honest. I would rather live in a former sundown town that has learned the error of their ways versus living in a sundown city full of murder and destruction. Try that in a small town. And that pissed people off. Folks, we've got to stop. We've got to stop focusing on people's skin color. How stupid is it to have pride in something that you had absolutely no control over whatsoever? That's like saying, I'm proud of my boobs. I am. I work at them. Like I put effort into my boobs and my shoulders and my delts and everything else. But if you're black or you're white and you have black pride and white pride, why? What the hell did you do to earn? You did nothing.
That's like people hanging the Ukrainian flag saying that you got Ukrainian pride.
Why do you have Ukrainian pride?
You're not Ukrainian.
What the hell?
Now, if you are an immigrant from Ukraine, I get that.
Sure.
But
why didn't you stay in Ukraine? That's what I don't get. All right. Comes down to this. We've got to stop making this about black versus white. We have got to stop making this about the lowest common denominator. It's not about our religion. It's not about black or white. It's about our political affiliation, whether we voted for Trump or voted for Joe Biden. Can we stop this? And can we simply focus on the things that are important? Our family, our loved ones, our job. Can we afford things? Can we not? I've lived in the big city. I've lived in small towns. Both have their ups. Both have their downs. The fact that we have 3 places to eat sucks. It sucks. The fact that traffic here is worse than the big city because it's like 175 cars, but on a stoplight that recycles every 3 minutes. The fact that we have pride in something that we had no control over. I have pride in my daughter. That she recognized that she was in a place that she did not feel good about herself and has worked out and eating right and taking care of her. I love that my wife went to bed with me late last night, woke up early, worked all damn day, and still came on and did a show. We have to find a way to stop focusing on the things that don't matter and focusing on the things that do. That's all I've got. Olivia, you got your 1 minute. What do you have for us?
I just think people need to stop being so offended by everything. I think social media, the mainstream media feeds it, and then social media feeds it. And you know, I know it started, you know, social media started before all of this whole thing started with it. What's up with the flip-flops?
I'll show you. Go ahead.
Okay, flip-flops.
I'm calling you a flip-flopper. No, go ahead.
Apparently. But I think social media feeds it because majority of these people who come on and say these things to other people on posts and stuff, they would never come up and say that to your face.
Oh, yeah,
never,
like this guy.
In a million years, ever. And it's made people think that they are more badass than they are. And it's made them more offended.
Yeah.
And people just get way too offended on the dumbest things. And honestly, just pull the stick out and go do something. Go live your life. While you're sitting on your computer or your phone or your laptop all day, just going through social media just to pick on people. I mean, that's a bully. Just stop it. Go live your life. Go do whatever.
Yeah, a lot of people call me a bully and say you're a bully. I'm like, why am I a bully? Because I do the facts thing. Listen, I was going to talk about Carrie Lake today, how Carrie Lake had the balls to sit up there and say, Donald Trump doesn't ask for money. These other candidates do. Are you freaking kidding me? I get about 40 messages a day from Donald Trump's Red Brigade trying to reach out and get money from me. That is ridiculous.
Oh, you know what I got today? I got a text that said, hi, this really is Mike Pence. I've got something really important to tell you.
My hair tastes like peppermint. I know. I always get those.
Funny.
Don't reply to them because that's just
all I do is I go and I block the number and then delete the text.
All right. So listen, we're gonna go. We've got things to do. Combatflipflops.com. Now you might be thinking, why in the hell are they called combat flip-flops? I don't need tactical flip-flops. They're not paying me a dime. I'm going to tell you a quick story. After my surgeries, 16, Liv, total?
It's too many to count.
Yeah. My back is worth about $1.3 million with the amount of titanium and the spinal cord stimulator. Combat flip-flops. I've worn all forms of shoes. I work out in these. Now, anybody that does squats, anyone that does any type of deadlifts, whatever, you want your feet as close to the ground as possible, and you want to use angled foam core to increase your foot. And the reason why is because the closer you are to the ground, the less stress you put on your ankles and your knees and your hips. But even walking around. Now, barefoot walking is actually fantastic. We did it for a hell of a long time, and then out of convenience, obviously leaving temperate zones, we moved into putting, moccasins on our feet, etc. And then it turned into shoes. Shoes are not the best thing. A lot of people say arch support is an important thing. Well, it is. It's because of the lack of overall ankle support you receive. And the closer you can get yourself down to the floor, the better. Now, I have chronic back problems. Now, I don't have them anymore because I take care of my body. I work out. But these are fantastic. They are extremely dense. They are a hard butyl type rubber. They last a long time. They are 100% leather, and they have a canvas in the toe slot. Also, what's really cool about these, if you look at them close up, is that combat flip-flops. These are the AK-47s. They have got an actual 7.62 millimeter round back half where the firing pin would actually strike, and the striker plate there is actually embedded into the shoe. They're amazing. And I don't get paid by these guys, but here's the story. Mine wound up getting a hole in through the leather because I wore them so much for 3.5 years. And then I wrote the CEO and I said, hey, I love your product. I bought a different pair. Right now, as I'm going to tell him, I bought a new pair. The other pair isn't as comfortable for my back. I really want to swap them out for the AK-47s. And he's like, you know what? Keep both pairs. And he sent me a free pair of AK-47s. These are the most comfortable damn flip-flops. If you don't own a pair, combatflipflops.com. Stop on by. I don't have a code for you. I've got nothing for you. All I can tell you is they're an American-based company owned by veterans. And the whole joke is worse for fighting, worse for wearing. that you would never wear these into combat. That's the joke. And they even have Velcro tags that come off the shoe and you can put on and wear them that even say worse for fighting, worse for wearing. It's a great company. Stop by Combat Flip Flops if you would not mind. You will absolutely love them. Still Point's in the house. Good to see Still Point. If you haven't stopped on by, go to Still Point. STIILPOINT. You can find them on iTunes. All right, folks. Thanks so much for watching. We are going to go out like we always do with the Veteran Crisis Hotline. Do me a favor, if you would not mind, stop by thedumshow.com and like, share, and subscribe to the show. Thank you. We will see you tomorrow. We will have a show tomorrow night, and I'll have a recorded show you in the morning. Oh, yeah. Patricia says 20% off first order. That is correct. If you go to combatflipflops.com, they will give you 20% off your first order. Great company. You'll love them. They do take a little bit to get to you. Sometimes they don't have your size. They will notify you if you sign up on the email. You will love the company. They are awesome. I love them to death. See you guys tomorrow.
Night, y'all.
Thanks for watching. Good night. See ya.
I'm David Boreanaz with the Cast of SEAL team, and we have an important message for returning vets.
We want you to know if you're struggling to cope, there's help and it's just a phone call away.
The Veterans Crisis Line is staffed with experienced professionals who know your struggles.
There's no greater sacrifice in service to our country. We're able to enjoy our freedoms because of it.
Your service is important. You are important.
For vets and their families, the Veterans Crisis Line is here to help 24 hours a day. Please call